Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy. This is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to make a bourbon mash, all grain, and we're going to ferment on the grain. Alright, this ought to be pretty interesting. First things first, please consider helping this channel out by doing 5 things. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. 3, give a thumbs up if you like what you see. 4, share us with your friends. Get the word out. And number 5, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright, let's get started. One thing I'm going to do, which this is new to me, is I'm going to check my pH of my water. I took a sample of the water here. And I checked the temperature. It's about 80 degrees, and my pH meter has been calibrated. So let's see what we got. They say it gives about 30 seconds to wait for the to stabilize. And she stopped moving. Oop. Alright, I'm looking at 6.90. Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to have to add to my water is a little bit of citric acid. I got a few lemons. Should do the job so that I can, I want to raise the acidity, which will lower the other. Okay? So let me get some lemons in that. We'll get another sample and do it again. Okay, I added 3 lemons to my water that I'm heating up, which is about 8 gallons. And 3 lemons brought it down to 5.25. I'm going to leave it right there. Let me let that finish warming up. And then we're going to start, I need that water to be up near boiling, and then we'll start mixing the cornmeal, and then we will let that hydronize and gelatinize for about an hour, and that should, and then we'll start adding in the other grains. Okay, so I'll be back. So let's put a little bit of, I've already sanitized my mash tun. Put a couple gallons of, probably about 3 gallons to start with. It's about 200 degree water. And then we're going to start adding corn. I'm using cornmeal. And what this is going to do is going to hydronize and gelatinize the corn. One thing I want to make sure that I do is everything good squirt of store sand sanitizer. And start adding the corn. My goal is that I didn't want to use any sugar to boost up the gravity points. I wanted to use all grain. It's going to get pretty thick. hoping it's going to be a lot of good flavor with all this corn. That's why we like bourbon so much. Alright, so let me get all this added in and I'll be back. Alright, just to show you how thick. It's getting pretty thick. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up and we'll let that do its thing for about an hour. And then we'll add the grains in and start converting the starches over into sugar. Okay, so I'll be back in about an hour. Okay, it's been about an hour. Our corn is hydrogenized, and one thing we got to remember is we need the corn down to about, I'm going to say 155. That's on the high end of the scale, so we want 144 to 155 to start adding in our grains. One way of doing that is if you take an ice block, you spray it with star sand and put it into the corn and start letting it cool down. Sometimes I'll put 2 in there if I need to. So we'll get that down to 155. Alright, so then we'll be back. We got paste. Okay. Alright, what I want to do, let me bring the camera over here. You can see how thick that is. Alright, and then okay, so let's mix our grains. You see how thick that was? Alright, so now we're going to mix in our grains. I got 4 pounds of 6-row. So what we got to do is get this all mixed in here. And this will start converting all the starches from the corns into fermentable sugars. And it will be fun to get all this stirred in, but we'll leave it in there for about an hour, and when we come back you'll notice that all the conversion's taking place. You'll see it will really thin up because it's going to convert them starches into sugars. So, like I said, there's 4 pounds of 6-row. Whoops. I've never done it this way before with this much grain. So alright, so we got that. And then we got 2 pounds of rye, malted rye. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll get this all stirred in, and then I'll set the timer probably for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll let you check it out. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, let me bring the camera over here. Alright, if you remember what it looked like before, look. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put that in our fermenter here. Try not to make too much of a mess, which tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to just take some out for right now to make it a little bit lighter. So let me get this transferred over here, then I'll be right back. Okay, so we added the mash to the fermenter. We'll put it in the fermentation room and let it cool down to yeast pitching temperature. And right before we do that, we'll check the specific gravity and all that good stuff. But I'm going to let her cool down for now. So, we'll come back later. Okay, so we got everything in the fermenter. We checked our specific gravity, or OG, and it is 1.075. I'm pretty pleased with that. We can work with that. We ended up with about 11 gallons, but that is all the grains, water, everything combined. So I'll be curious to see what we get out of that. This is a new bourbon recipe that I'm working on, and like I said before, it's an all grain and it's fermented on the grain. So I'll be interested to see how it turns out, and I'll keep you updated on that. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the adventure. We'll see you next time.